time to do my vocal exercises. Hello and welcome to the Redhead Boy podcast, hosted by me, Harry Allen. This is my own personal podcast where I talk about anything that's on my mind, really. So, of course, that's including film, television, news about film and television, news about the creative industries, creativity, anything that I pretty much feel like it. So welcome to the Red-Headed Boy podcast, and let's start this episode. Hi guys, and welcome. It's Monday the 23rd of March, and a very warm welcome back to my podcast. It's episode number 2, guys. We made it through 1, so we might as well do 2. So thank you for coming back. For those who listened to before, I really appreciate it. So welcome back. On this episode, I'm going to be mainly focusing on TV today. TV on the streaming services. And the first one I'm going to be talking about is Made in Heaven. But before we talk about that, let's do the news.
News.
Convicted rapist Harvey Weinstein tested positive for coronavirus. I don't think anybody's deeply upset about that. Sadly, Transformers actress Sophie Marce's dad dies after contracting coronavirus. Army to dispatch masks and protective suits for frontline NHS. Well, that's bloody good. They all need that. Let's give a little prep to the NHS. Rail finance deal supplied to avoid companies' collapse. PM to rush emergency laws as UK heads towards lockdown. Yes, people, please don't go to the beach. I got told yesterday by a load of people that a huge crowds were on the beach on Saturday, so do not be silly about stuff like that. If you want to stay well, try and stay inside as much as you can. And that's all I really got for the news. I tell you what, I really need to sack the person that did the news this morning. He sounds so boring. Anyway, let's play the trailer for Made in Heaven, and then we will chat about it.
मतलब आप कर सकते हैं या नहीं?
If the girl needs to be investigated, so be it.
अब क्यों ये पता करना चाह रहे हैं?
लड़के वालों ने रिक्वेस्ट किया हॉरोस्कोप मैच करने की। डिफेंस कॉलोनी घर का फर्स्ट फ्लोर, विशाल के अकाउंट में 2 करोड़
और बारात अंदर?
Parents have asked 4 crores dowry from my parents.
Stream now, only on Amazon Prime Video.
I just realised playing that trailer that there's like no English really featured, so that probably didn't help you guys to realise, to give you an idea of what the show is about. So I'm sorry about that. I apologise. So anyway, let's talk about this wonderful show that I've been watching. So the show follows the story of 2 wedding planners in Delhi, where traditional things and modern things against a backdrop of big fat Indian weddings, revealing many secrets and lies. So that's me just reading of what it says on IMDb. But let me tell you why I adored this show. It was so good. My main thoughts for the show was that my partner has been introducing me to more international films and television. His family are originally from Bangladesh, so he's been introducing me to more like the Bollywood and the more Indian and Asian like films. In the past, I wouldn't really have looked at much of that just because I got put off by the subtitles, just because of my dyslexia. So it was just me that I didn't really want to sit down and try and read something and try and watch something. But my opinion has completely changed for that. He's really shown me some like amazing stuff, some amazing content that is being made like across the world, not just here in the UK. So some amazing stuff, some like really quality stuff. So the main thing that I loved about this show was seeing how an Indian wedding is such a glamorous event in Indian culture. In this show, the wedding planners do weddings for a range of people, including Indian royalty, celebrities, and you see how glamorous the weddings are. Like, literally, they put our weddings to shame. Like, the amazing colours of the outfits and the whole glamorous event that a wedding is. It can even, like, to the point that it even takes place over several days. It's not just one day. It's definitely not just one day. They stretch over 3 to 4 days. So it's a massive event for them in their culture. And yeah, where all the family get together and have a huge celebration of this couple. Also, it's just mental of the show touches upon this. It's just mental of how much money families spend on weddings, obviously if they have it, but how much money they spend. So I loved seeing how the whole putting on a traditional Indian wedding works. And the show is great that each episode is them working on a different wedding. So, and each wedding comes up with its own conflicts that the planners have to deal with. Some crazy stuff that they have to deal with. Some crazy traditions, some crazy things that come up in terms of like things they weren't expecting, like skeletons out the closet. There's some great stuff in these weddings, but also there's also the other storylines in the show is focusing on the two main characters. Tara, played by... Oh, what's her name? Played by... I'm going to get my laptop to read it out just because I can't read it out because of my dyslexic brain right now. I really fall out with names most of the time. So hopefully you can hear that.
Sobhya Jalipala.
Yeah, so Sobhya Jalipala plays Tara, this woman that's come from a poorer part of India but has married into this very rich family. Her husband's extremely rich, and then her business partner, which his name is Karan. I knew I was going to stutter on it. I just know. Oh god. And he's played by... Let me get my laptop to read it out again because I'm going to get stuck on it. Or I'm going to stutter on it. So let me see.
Arjun Martha.
Yeah, Arjun Martha. And he's my favourite character in this. Absolute favourite character. And I'll tell you more about that in a minute. But yeah, so the both of them have interesting personal storylines that cleverly woven into their working lives as the wedding planners. And as I said earlier, my favourite character is Karan, just because I can like relate to him quite a lot because he plays a gay man, and the show touches on that very tricky subject in terms of sexuality, because while the first season of the show was being shot, it was still illegal to be publicly gay in India. So the show touches upon that and it shows like the tough journey that he has to go through dealing with hiding his sexuality, and that was extremely interesting to me. Also, I know I definitely have a type, so I do find the guy that plays Karan quite attractive, and also he gets with a couple of guys in the show throughout the show, and the predominantly them are Asian, so I definitely have a type, guys, let's just say. So I deeply loved his character, and I loved the bond between his character and Tara, their bond. But I won't tell you much more because I want you to check it out yourself because it's really good. Don't be put off by the subtitles, really don't. I would say also the main takeaway is just how beautifully shot it was, showcasing like the stunning look of Delhi, and how amazing the wedding ceremonies look in terms of the outfits and the colours, like I said before. After watching this show, not just this show, but previously, watching like other like Indian based things, I definitely want to go to India. Yeah, desperately want to go because I think it would be amazing. I'm super interested in the culture. So hopefully we might be going next year, depending what happens, and obviously depending on this dreaded coronavirus. So we shall see. But I would highly recommend you watching Made in Heaven. It's on Amazon Prime Video. Check it out if you can. Also, they have a series 2 coming, which I don't know when, which I'm super looking forward to. So I would highly recommend you checking out this show because it was really good. And if you're interested in different cultures, then check this out because you just learn so much about the Indian culture and the traditions and the way they do things completely different to us, which is really interesting and really exciting. So I would highly recommend you checking out this show, Made in Heaven. So that was my review of Made in Heaven. I thoroughly recommend you checking out that show. It's super cool. It will make you want to go to India. Believe me, it will make you want to go to India. So next, I'm going to be talking about Sense8, the Netflix show. But we're going to do a little sponsor first. So come right back after this. Hello, and this is your sponsor for this episode. Now today, this is going to be a government message on how coronavirus does not make you shit yourself. Now remember, you do not need to hog all the bog roll, okay? No hogging the bog roll. Remember that there's no need to panic buy, especially bog roll. I do not want to see any people on Amazon or anywhere selling bog roll for 50 quid a roll. Remember, if you're desperate and you don't have any bog roll, just get some leaves out from your garden. Thank you for listening to this message, and remember, do not hog all the bog roll. And we're back, and thank you for that very important message. I 100% agree with all that was said about that. So, the next show I'm going to be talking about is Sense8, the Netflix show. But first, let's listen to a clip.
If you know what it means to be reborn, a sensate. A what? Tisoha. But that's just the beginning.
I can feel you. You're not really here, are you?
You are no longer just you. You'll start to feel strange things. Anger and joy and pain. Pleasure without any reason. You have 7 other selves now. You can access each other's knowledge, language, skills. You will be hunted. There's no more time. You need to run. I'm losing my mind. No, it's just expanding.
Even listening to the clip for that show, it sounds awesome without seeing anything. And seriously, may I say, this show is like awesome. I'm surprised I haven't watched it sooner, to be honest. I always used to go past it and see the poster and be intrigued, but I never was 100% sure about clicking on it. And then my partner watched all the show through like 1 or 2 days. Just sat there and watched it, and he said, you need to watch this show. So we sat down and watched it, and it's amazing. So let me tell you what it's about. So a group of people around the world are suddenly linked mentally and must find a way to survive being hunted by those who see them as a threat to the world's order. That is a great little synopsis there. That if that doesn't grab you, then you will not want to see this show. Apparently, this show used to cost $9 million an episode to produce. And you can see why, because the show is beautiful. It's beautifully shot, and the group of 7 or 8 of them are all across the globe. So there are 2 in America, 1 in Mexico, 1 in Korea, 1 in Iceland, and 1 in India. Oh, and another in German. Another one in Germany, which I don't want to forget because my partner absolutely loves the look of him. The one that's German. And they're amazingly, they find themselves connected to one another after an event where all of them see a particular event, and they find themselves connected to one another, and they're able to help one another even though they are separated from hundreds and hundreds of miles, and they can use each other's skills to help one another, and they have to find themselves trying to survive against this organisation that wants to pretty much kill them and stop this magical link that they have from working. And the show is just incredible, and the characters are incredible. I think my favourite character is the North Korean girl. She's just a badass. She's a businesswoman, but also she can kickbox, and she can beat the crap out of anybody, really. And the action is brilliantly shot, and you can tell why it costs so much, because you end up seeing different characters in the different locations, but even though they're not physically there, the other characters are seeing them. So obviously the cast used to get flown about to different locations, to Iceland, Germany, India, to the UK. And the storyline, I would say the storyline is like similar to Heroes. I don't know if any of you guys remember the show Heroes that came out maybe about 10 years ago. It's one of those shows that if you don't pay attention to, you won't understand what's happening. So thank God it's on Netflix, because you would lose track if it was on television. So you can look back at things, and if it doesn't make sense, but it's actually not that complicated. It's just very like back and forth, and non-linear storytelling, but it's so clever, so clever. The action is brilliant, the storytelling is brilliant. I've only just finished series 1 and I've got another series and I can't wait to watch it. And my partner's already watched series 2, so he's sitting there trying to stay quiet about things and try not to give things away. Unlike me, when I get excited about something, I'm like, oh, there's this really cool bit that's going to happen soon. This is really cool bit that's going to happen. This is the type of television that I would want to work on if I was a director or even as a production runner, because this show is insanely clever. Brilliant, really. It's just a shame that they didn't do more seasons. Apparently they didn't do any more just because of how much the show actually cost to produce. Which, that's understandable, that's what television happens. But yeah, it's on Netflix and I 100% recommend you putting it on your watch list and sit down and watching it with your partner or by yourself or with your damn dog, if you want to. The dog will probably enjoy it anyway. So yeah, that's my review of Sense8. So 100% recommend you watching that. Go and watch it now. Forget listening to me. Watch it now. So that was my review for Sense8, and what can I say about that show? It's mind-blowing. The visuals, the storytelling, I 100% you recommend go and watch that show. Forget listening to me. Go now and watch it. Stop listening to me. Go and watch it now. And then come and tell me what you think about it. Don't tell me anything about season 2 though, because I haven't got there yet. But go and watch it and then let me know what you think. Contact me on my Facebook and Twitter. My Twitter is at Harry-Allen94, and then my Facebook is just Harry E. Allen. So let me know what you think about it. And also, let me know what you think about this episode. I'm all up for feedback, just as long as you're nice to me. Always be nice. It's always good to be nice. So anyway, I'm going to end this episode now. Thank you for listening to episode 2. Whew. We got there. And to end this episode, I'm gonna share with you a little clip of the new Netflix limited series Self-Made, starring Octavia Spencer. And God, I love Octavia Spencer. She's such a good actress. So funny, so witty, so powerful. So I'm gonna leave you with that little clip for that limited series, which I will definitely be checking out. That's available on Netflix. And remember that there is also other streaming services available, not just Netflix and Amazon Prime. This show is not sponsored by anyone, apart from Bog Roll, apparently. So until next time, thank you for listening, and you take care.
Tell my story. Seems like I was born to struggle. After a while, I guess I just lost hope. That's when my hair started falling out.
I'm going to help you.
My hair grew back, and so did my confidence. Maybe I could sell your product. I don't think sales is for you. Colored women will do anything to look like me, even if deep down they know they can't.
I ain't gonna let you keep beating up on yourself, yeah?
From now on, I'm doing my own hair, making my own hair grow. Come on.
Missy, I don't take orders no more. Lincoln freed me 40 years back.
That's why I'm gonna pay you.
And that's why you're my favorite daughter-in-law.
Sisters, let's talk about hair. They put us down, tell us we're ugly, make us feel ugly. Wonderful hair leads to wonderful opportunities. Mama, sure on to something.
You can call me queen.
I want a whole line of products, which is why I want to open my own factory.
There's such a thing as growing too fast.
We live in a man's world. It's just not our place.
I didn't come here to make sandwiches. I came here to do business.
Oh, I know. What you gonna do now, Sarah?
Don't let nobody steal your dream, Mama.
You need a plan B.
I'm not going back to laundry.
Now, we done all made sacrifices. You gonna do what's best for this family.
Hair is beauty. Hair is power.
Damn, Sarah, how big you wanna be?
Big. Carnegie, Ford, and Rockefeller put together. We gotta work harder. Be smarter. And dream big.
I'm a ruler, yeah.